Hello, evilslothman here, back for another vid. Yes, it's been another week. Another week without videos. It's so sad. I have no excuse. I'm just a lazy shite. Don't know really what to say. It's just not happening. Not happening since since download. Never got back into a routine after download to actually get consistent vids up, and it has to stop. I have to push myself to get more done. Because if I don't push myself, I'll just sit there and I'll just not do nothing. But alright, we have a pickups vid today. Well, these are actually things I left out of the Amecon video the last time. I forgot about them. And I actually picked up 2 games. And a few extra discs and that. And then I've got a few pickups that I got today. So we'll go through one first and then the other. So the first thing I actually found is a Japanese PlayStation game. It looks like it's in its classic series, but this is actually Street Fighter EX Plus A. And if anybody knows, Street Fighter EX series was absolutely abysmal. It was like the 3D way they tried to do every game when the PlayStation came out, and Street Fighter just didn't work in 3D at all. It was shocking. And yes, I don't actually have a Japanese PlayStation to play it, or a modded PS1. But it's nice to have. It's in really good nick. It also has its spine card and manual and everything, and so it's in really good nick and just something quite nice to have. And maybe one day I'll get like a modded, or I'm not going to get modded. I know me. I'll probably maybe pick up a cheapy Japanese PS1. But yeah, that was £1. Which I thought, I just saw it at Amecon, it was on the table, they were just selling everything off, and I thought, £1? Yeah, why not? The other thing was Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater. Now, I didn't really have that much of a good go on Metal Gear Solid 2. I suck. I basically tried to do it, and honestly, just wasn't happening. I'm not the person in stealth, is not really my thing. But I did really like this to 2, so while I watched my old flatmate play it. So I'll maybe have more luck with this. It was more sneaking through the jungle and that, and then I liked the bosses better. The bosses were funny. There was that one I really wanted to try, the sniper battle, where you had to, if you left it the week, the guy died of old age. I just thought that was funny. But yeah, this was £4, and this is like fully complete for £4. I thought, well, actually it's not, because it doesn't have the proper manual. It just has the thing for buying the strategy guide. It doesn't actually have the manual, but for £4, it's a decent box. This is the thing I find with going around the town and everything, is a lot of the time the boxes become quite grubby, and the way they actually store the discs is a lot left to be desired. Especially in cash converters, them bloody boxes look scary. But at the actual music quiz, they were giving away the winners got to pick these discs. It was like tester discs. The guy who reviews anime for a living. And they send them out these tester discs and everything. So just to go through it, and so there's no box. It's just a blank. It's just a basic cheapy copy disc, and say, well, review it and see what it's like. And after the winners said, you just take anything else, I don't really need any of it. So I nabbed about 4 discs. I was a greedy fuck. The first one was like this Panda Go Panda. And if you've never heard of it, neither had I. But I put it on for like about 10 minutes. And it's done by Hayao Miyazaki. And it's done by the other director that works at Ghibli. Before they went to Ghibli, it was he did Grave of the Fireflies and My Neighbors and Matters. I can't remember what his name is, but it was them two before they actually went and created Ghibli, and it's a very, very childish. It was like the girl sends her grandmother away, who's the only adult responsible for looking after her, because of the granddad's funeral, and send them away. So she's left on her own. And yet this giant panda seems to want to take care of her because she met the son and everything. It was like, what the hell? Very weird anime. Next two are part of the same kind of thing. It's Bleach Series 4, Part 3, Disc 3 and Disc 2. I am quite a big Bleach fan. It's something I haven't really kept on top of. I watched like the first 70, 80 episodes and then it went into a filler arc, which I presume actually that's going to be in, and didn't really like the filler arc and then never got back into it once it got out the filler arc. I was reading the manga, but I stopped reading that as well. The only mangas I seem to keep up with are like Naruto, One Piece, and Mahou Sensei Negima. And briefly other ones, but basically they're the three I usually keep on top of. And so hopefully that's not in the filler arc, but I have a sneaky suspicion it is. If it's around about where the Bankai is, that's going to be fucking kick-ass awesome. But it might not be. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure whereabouts that is. And then the last one is Golgo 13. Now I seem to remember I downloaded bits of this, and I think it was meant to be quite good. I can't exactly remember what it's about. Not off the top of my head. I have a feeling it's something spy referenced, and it's gone completely out of my head what it's all actually like. But it's got both discs. It's got 2 discs there for Golgo 13, so it's near enough a whole half season or something there. So it should be a pretty good idea of what it's like. And I got them for free, so not too bad. Have to kind of speed this up. It's like I'm already gone about 6-7 minutes. Right, so I went down to Cash Converters today and picked up 5 games for £13. So, first one is Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Now, this doesn't have its manual, but disc's in it's in really good nick, the disc. This I played with my mate Mega Dave. And did we both have GBA? Because I think at the time we both had the GBA links and everything. So we were playing it through and watching it and doing everything. Because this was the thing they tried to get with the GameCube, was you had your GBA link cable and you could link it. So anytime you're going through like little caverns or different option things, you could actually select through there instead of actually on screen, so it didn't clutter up the screen. They did this with like that and Zelda 4 Swords and other extra things, but they were really pushing it at the time. But then you had to have 4 GBA link cables and 4 Game Boy Advances, and at the time that was just too well the chances of you having all that was like stupid. Next game, Shadow the Hedgehog. Now I promised myself I wouldn't actually ever get this game. I remember at the time I watched it and thought, piece of shite. It's honestly I say it. But it's, I don't know. I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to see how we go. I haven't really played it myself, so I played one level, I think, once, and didn't. It wasn't too bad, but I'll give it a fair shot and see. It's like the only one I really, out of the main series arc now, I haven't got is 2006. I really don't want to get 2006, but I could see it happening. I really could. Really don't want to own that game. That game is terrible. I've seen it played all the way through. It's fucking awful. Right, the next one is Prince of Persia: The Two Thrones. Now, as you've seen before, I got Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time for the PS2. And I got that quite cheap. I haven't really played it, to be honest, but I was still pretty irked that I got the platinum disc when I actually had the standard box. But I know that the kind of game it is a game genre that I absolutely adore, so I know I'll love it once I actually put it in and get it going. And this is a sequel to it, and I know I'll love the series, so I will keep on collecting them. Don't know if I'll get the 360 one. No, it does go ridiculously cheap. Right, next one is Black. Now, I always wanted this when it came out. I was a big Criterion fan because I absolutely love Burnout series. So this to see them do something a bit different, they challenged themselves in that to make a shooter. And the whole thing about it being like very carnage based, it was just like very destructible environments and then shooting, and the graphics on the guns at the time was meant to be absolutely astounding and everything. So I have never actually played it, so to actually go now and see what it was all like and to find it ridiculously cheap as we did, just I think it'll be a good game. So I'll probably get some footage up of that soon. May try to get it with a dazzle because I've got the PS2 in the room now, so hopefully I can get it with a dazzle and then tweak my little settings on it and get it how I like it.
Dazzle.
And the last one. This has got a story behind it, which is funny. This is Pikmin on the GameCube. Now, as you can see, it's the Platinum box, but it's the normal sleeve. It has its manual. It has the disc. Now, we saw 2 copies of Pikmin. One that was the standard box, but had this big pen over the actual box thing.
It said whiskey.
Yeah, whiskey. Or it was some whiskey's game. It was something weird. It was like a treasure chest thing, but he wrote it in pen. And we're like, ugh. So we kind of took the cover off of one, put it onto the other, and nicked the manual out of the other one, and just made an amalgamation of all of it, and still got it really cheap. Yes, I'll probably get a black box for it eventually, because I absolutely hate Platinum versions of games. That's why I didn't actually pick up the Platinum version itself. But it's a game I've always been quite interested in. I've watched it being played before, and it's very RTS strategy. And setting things around and that. And I do, from time to time, really do like RTSs. My favourite being Age of Empires, which is why I signed up for the Age of Empires Online beta this morning, actually. So, if anybody else wants to do it and see if we get into it, go and look me up for that when it starts going. Hopefully, the games for Windows doesn't actually break the bloody game. Right. Because it just sounds like Travian versus Age of Empires, and that just sounds like win. But Pikmin itself is really good. I didn't want to get the Wii Control ones. I just didn't fancy that. It was like when you got Mario Power Tennis. I didn't fancy that either. It was just like Wii Control. The games just sounded like no. No. You'd rather get the GameCube ones. But aye, that's my pickups. I will get another gameplay video. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow, because tomorrow's long, as is Thursday. But I'll be back earlier on Thursday, so probably Thursday. We'll get a gameplay video up on Thursday. So, this is evilslothman.